Welcome to the Facerocker podcast, number 62. This week we're rejoined by Brian Firenzi and Dan Hollister. Brian, who has been in London for a while, back in the States for the holidays. He tells us a little bit about his experiences in London, his newfound perspective on the American psyche and culture. We talk about advertising, marketing, a little bit about the Sony hack that happened this last week, and driverless cars for a little bit that you'll want to stick around for that conversation, believe me. If you haven't already, head over to podsurvey.com/Facerocker. There's a little survey there to fill out if you're a listener to the podcast. Really helps us out quite a bit for you to fill it out. We're going to be giving away a lot of stuff. $100 Amazon gift cards, Steam games, a whole merch pack, all that kind of rad, cool stuff from RocketJump, from the store. Anyway, podsurvey.com/Facerocker. Thank you very much. If you filled the survey out already, thank you so much. If you haven't, head on over there. Enough of this. Let's get to the podcast, which Matt's going to introduce.
All right, everyone.
Welcome to another... Oh, wait, that's right. Matt's going to start all of these from now on.
Yeah. Oh.
What?
I'm sorry, I've not been here. Is there some sort of
Matt made fun of me so ruthlessly last time, Brian, that he
oh, man,
is now starting.
I should have been ready. I should have been ready for this.
Oh, so easy, Matt.
Welcome
so
to another RocketJump podcast.
Let's go improv.
We're here.
It's not the RocketJump
It's not the RocketJump podcast. The Facerocker podcast.
Okay, wait.
Okay, go.
Let me do this.
He did that on purpose.
Welcome, everybody, to another Facerocker podcast. We got some special guest stars. Some friends of old. Brian Firenzi back from London.
Yep. Hailing back from foggy old London. Hello, everybody.
There you go. Daniel Hollister, the man, the legend, DIT on Video Game High School.
Amongst many other things.
Yep. Also 5 Second Films. Also just like general super tech guy around here now.
I just kind of showed up one day and just didn't leave. No one knows why, really.
But we love
Basically,
it.
but we're loving the hell out of it.
We love it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the normal people, Freddie Wong
Usual suspects.
Yes.
Normal.
and Dez.
Hey, I'm here
Dolly.
again. Hi.
Just get that mic a little closer to your face, man.
It's broken, so I'll have to hold it.
Yeah, great. Fantastic. Now everyone's just listening to the sound of Desmond Dolly manhandling his microphone.
I didn't break it. Look at this thing. It's
Off to a
wrapped in
beautiful
gaff tape.
start.
It's like a PA. You can just hold it
It's
the whole time.
jank.
Dub T setup.
It's jank
Brian.
City, guys.
Brian, good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you too,
How have you
dude.
been, buddy?
I've been good. I love London, man.
Yeah?
It's been a blast. It's a totally different world.
Let me ask you this, because I always like to ask people this question, and when they come from overseas, and it's not usually because I hate in vacations when people are like, "How was blank?" It's like it was good. Like your stupid question will get a stupid answer. What's the first thing?
That's what Dez asked.
No, Freddie's just criticizing my how are you?
How you been on vacation?
How have you been is a dumb question.
Because, I hate it when Dez does anything. So let me ask you the cool Freddie. Whoa.
Here's a Freddie ass question.
Which is, what do you think of Dez?
What is the first thing you notice about America when you come back?
Coming back, everyone complains a lot. In America, so in England, for one thing, not a lot of people drive. More people take the train. It's public transportation. It's actually an interesting blend. But whereas in New York, nobody drives. But in London, there's a weird combo. But public transportation, the train, especially in the winter, just like breaks down or just is 20, 30 minutes late constantly, inconveniencing people like crazy who have to get to work from way out of like central London. And no one complains. No one complains at all. They just open up their paper and they just sit there. Whereas in America, like if that happened, people would be like, "Come on!" They'd file like a written complaint and be like, "Well, and they'd tweet about it." And England doesn't care. They got blitzed. Who gives a crap about anything?
So what you're saying is that we essentially have higher standards and try to hold it down.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we are lower in education, lower in healthcare. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be one of those
Lower
guys
in
who
life
comes back and is like,
expectancy.
"London's so much better." Blah. But that is the thing that I noticed is like I came back and like, man, everyone just whines about everything.
Yeah, man. First world problems.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about this. I honestly think it's that whole idea of the American dream and that, if you work hard, you can succeed. Kind of just, there's a lot of positive things about it, but it does create this just kind of like, if something doesn't work your way, you're like, I gotta succeed, damn it! Like, I gotta do it on time. Whereas, in Britain, they're just like, be lucky that you have the food on your table. Yeah. You could be dead.
Yeah.
Like, frankly, you're not royalty, so kind of screw yourself.
Right, yeah.
So you just kind of like, it's like taking on the chin. You kind of just accept it, like, oh, I guess the bus is broken.
Yep, that's whatever. It's truly whatever.
I'm worthless.
Yeah.
I'm not an individual.
No,
I'm just
here
a
it's
person.
you can be president. You can be
Yeah.
the most powerful leader of the free
I
world.
can be president, damn it!
If you work hard enough.
Yeah, exactly. You're
Well,
in a Fortune 500 company.
Yeah.
But you won't.
No,
When
no.
and in London too, it's like it's Here it's like, okay, 40 acres, go out west, get land. There's like, you don't even get to own land. All land is leased from the crown.
Yeah.
It's like owning a piece of property is get a 99-year lease.
Yeah.
We are barely a shadow of the empire of the Sods we once were. Be happy with it.
Strap on your booties and get your brawly, you stupid serf.
Well, I remember hearing someone was like, hey, I was on Reddit yesterday, was like, hey, little England, what did they teach you about the American Revolution? And then every response was just like, you're one of 60 colonies, then you decide to go on your own thing. Like, nobody gave a shit.
Yeah.
We don't even talk about it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in English history books, because I've taken a look at a couple of them, the American Revolution is like, we almost had them beat, and then France showed up. Like, that's how basically, like, every single one of them ends. Is like, yeah, they would have totally been dead, but then France just had to stick their dick in everything. Like, it's just like a lot of hating towards France now.
They also have, it's like they have a 1,000-year history, you know? And
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like, yeah, you know, this one war of like, we had a 100-year war. You guys are barely alive that long. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Like, whatever.
We
It's
had
just-
a war that lasted just about as long as you've been around.
Yeah. No, I mean,
You know,
there's-
though, once you ran off, if we actually chased after everybody who left us, we would own the entire planet. Like,
we truly are like the little kid of the world, America. It's
We're
like
teenagers now, I
We
think.
still,
That's what we are.
we're teenagers and we're starting to realize.
yeah. Like,
but-
which makes sense why we complain so much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're going through our
Ah.
goth phase right now. All the other countries are having a party, and we won't even come down and say hi.
Well, see, but all of Europe is basically like the estranged in-laws who all don't talk to each other and hate each other. You know, it's
Well,
like,
you know, in England right now, there's a whole election going on, and I hate to get political, especially about a country I don't even belong to. But it's
But
like
do it anyway.
basically
no listener is gonna like disagree with you. They don't know
know.
anything about London.
England has their own version of the Tea Party, basically, and it's called UKIP. It's like the UK Independence Party, and it's fronted by this guy named Nigel Farage, and he has.
it sounds like a Bond villain.
I know, right? It's a great name. They have no platform, nothing. They don't have anything about education. They don't have anything about healthcare. All they have is stop immigrants. That's it. It's a completely racist platform, and all of their constituents are almost completely racist. All they have going for them is we don't want any Indians and Middle Eastern people coming here. That's the whole platform.
Yeah, well, do you have
That's all the guy
a-
runs on, and they're killing it.
Really?
They're totally stealing the thunder from the conservatives.
Really?
They're walloping the liberals and the
Well, they have
and
a
the
very
Labour Party.
They have a very big. You have an Indian and a Pakistani population. Yeah, you can get
And-
really good Indian food. In,
Oh, the
London.
best Indian food I've ever had in my life. I've had in England. I mean, it's no comparison. It is truly the Mexican food of that part of the world. It's just like there's no good. The best you'll get. The
I
best
can't tell if that was inappropriate or not.
No,
Well,
it
that's
is.
true though, because
it really is. It's like it's about authenticity. It's about
Yeah.
like where you actually are getting like the ingredients and like the tradition of making it from.
Yeah.
It's like here,
Yeah.
well, we're so close to Mexico, we're gonna have great Mexican food.
And the culture of Indian food is so insane there that like I've seen ads for beer there that are like, you drink our beer while you wash down your chicken tikka masala. Like
Yeah.
that's how they'll advertise for their
Chicken
It's like
tikka,
tacos.
Yeah,
Like,
chicken
yeah.
tikka masala is their like bean and cheese burrito. Like it's just get it.
Well, but
You
it's
can
the
get it
same
anywhere.
thing too. Well, do you have the same sense where it's like if I'm outside of like LA or San Diego, I'm just like, no, don't go to the Mexican place. Just don't even bother with the Mexican place.
Right,
Right.
yeah.
Do you have the same way with Indian food now? You're just like, I'm not even gonna have Indian food.
I mean, there's great Indian food anywhere. England is interesting in that, well, London is such a metropolitan city that truly the stigma about bad food doesn't apply to it because there's just so many cultures. It's so modern and fast paced.
Yeah.
You will find great food in London. You just have to know where to look.
Yeah.
Whereas in LA, I've found that you can kind of throw a rock and hit a great coffee place and hit a
Yeah.
great restaurant.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to do a little bit more research in London, but it is great food when you find it. And the Indian food is off the charts. It's the best. One of the best breakfasts I've ever had, because I'm a huge breakfast nerd,
Oh.
is an Indian food breakfast.
What is it?
What is
And it's
that?
just
Yeah.
like diced duck liver and like a lot of other minced meat, and you have it with their naan bread, but it's like a special like breakfasty kind of naan bread, and like some
It's like a folded over egg.
yeah, and like some potato like not crisps, but they're like it's hard to explain just how good this breakfast is.
Are you
but
doing a London breakfast tour the way you did a Los Angeles breakfast?
I'm going to
tour?
do a
Like,
London
everything?
breakfast tour, and they
Well,
they
the
do
full English breakfast is a hardcore. It's like
Oh,
that's
their,
like
their fry up is like our bacon and eggs, and then they add more stuff. Like they
There's
add
so much
beans and
stuff.
tomato and mushrooms. Like they go all out, and it's
Yeah.
great. And you're so full by the end of it. It's such a cholesterol heavy breakfast, but it's good. You can get a good fry up almost anywhere. But politically, the other problem with London, and the reason why UKIP I think is advancing so much, is that so many people who join ISIS are coming from London. It's just like the new punk rock thing to do. We're like, screw you, mom and dad, I'm gonna go join ISIS. Then they go join ISIS and like, oh my god, it's a slave labor camp, and we were messed up. And then England's like, you can't come back. Like it's like there's
we have very little sense of that over here. And you heard a couple sort of news stories, but is it really kind of like a thing in the culture?
It's like we had an American journalist lost, and then we haven't had that in a while, so everybody's like,
I haven't
heard of ISIS in like 2 months.
English journalists keep getting that keeps happening.
Oh, English.
It's constantly in the news. And actually what's funny is they traced where like 90% of these radicalized Muslims are coming from in London, and it's all this one street.
Whoa.
They noted down like, yep, they all lived here and they all went to this mosque and they all were preached at by this guy. And they're like, how come no one's doing anything? Like no one's stopping anything. So UKIP is like, and that's how they're advancing.
So you basically have to watch these things all day, every day.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, because I know about this because my job now is I do a lot of freelance editing for CNN and CNBC in London, and so I learn all about this stuff, and it's so depressing. Like I'm happy to learn more about the world. Like that's kind of what I wanted to do by going to London in the first place, but every news report that I cut just pretty much ends with the news report going, and there's no end to the bloodshed. Nick Roberts, CNN London. And I'm just like, oh, God. Oh, no. No end in sight, and the bodies keep piling up. And I'm just like, fuck.
Is enough world for you, Brian? Are you tired of seeing the
Yeah,
world
no,
yet?
it's really depressing. And like Ebola is such a bigger concern over there, too. It's just, hey, I'm really loving the mood I'm bringing to this.
America,
So guys, let's talk about Skylanders.
This reminds me of how much America is like teenagers. It's like, oh, it's not affecting our friends. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
who cares, right?
It's not my problem, bro.
Yeah.
Ebola,
Whatever. It's like, not only do you live in America, we live in California, which is like an extra buffer. It's
Yeah,
like,
we don't even know what's going on in the rest of the country.
it's like terrorists are like, let's get to New York, we did it. And then they're like, oh, let's not even bother with California.
Well, here's what I'm curious
It's
about.
already a hole. Just leave it. Yeah,
Here's what I'm curious about. What's happening over here that you don't hear anything about?
Well, what do you know?
Yeah, it's true. Well, I mean, you got the internet now. I'm always connected.
Thanksgiving.
You got Twitter, so
Thanksgiving.
yeah.
What's up with that, guys?
Thanksgiving. bleh. No, a lot of English people actually celebrate Thanksgiving because
What? That's our holiday.
It's an excuse to eat food.
wait, that's our holiday.
It's an excuse to eat food. They got turkey. They got stuffing. They can do all that stuff.
Oh, Ashley's best friend, her boyfriend's in London. They've been doing this long distance thing for like 3 years now.
Right.
He's actually on VJHS.
Yeah, Kevin Kemp.
And he was talking about it was the first year they had Black Friday.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, and I was like, that's
spreading.
a holiday you take from America.
It's a Black Friday.
Black Friday.
Black Friday
That's not
is
even a holiday
totally-
here. And he said he said the British reporting was just incredible. It was like, it is madness over
I
here.
love that
It spread like
That's the thing that we have to share with the world.
I
The
know,
one
it's like
day
the
where
most
people trample each other
consumerist, awful-
for $30 Westinghouse TVs. You know, it's like that's stupid.
It's mostly at Tesco's, and like when I brought that up, and their English person was like, "Oh, there's all chavs who live." Like Tesco's is like, okay, well that makes sense.
So it's the Walmart.
Yeah, it's like the Walmart of England, but. Yeah, Black Friday is truly spreading. I love that that's what we gave them.
Yeah.
That's great.
And we've almost lost it because now everything's open on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
It's
Black
like-
Thursday, everyone.
Gray Thursday or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like 200 years from now. People are gonna be like, Jesus wasn't really born on Black Friday. It's just gonna be the one holiday that survives everything.
in our corporatocracy that we are barreling towards. Sure.
Did anybody go on? Not to talk about Black Friday, but anybody go on Black Friday?
I sure did.
Yeah,
Because,
I was in London.
No, I was actually in America for Black Friday.
Okay.
I was having Thanksgiving with my family in Santa Cruz, and Santa Cruz is like still a liberal hippie city. It's still got those roots, even though more and more Silicon Valley billionaires like go and summer there, and like they've started to maybe like make it a little bit more rich and fruity.
Well, there's no liberals when it comes to Black Friday, though.
I
It's like
know.
once those deals happen,
Well, but see,
Those deals unite us all.
it's every man for himself.
There's no denying
There's
those
no atheists and
sick
foxholes.
deals.
There's no.
but you see, that's just it. It's like culturally, there's still not a lot of accolade for Black Friday to be a big deal. And in Santa Cruz, I wake up with my cousin because it's like our little bonding thing, and we go do Black Friday, and there's nobody
Really?
there.
Whoa.
It's just us.
You shouldn't
Stores
say
are
that.
open.
You shouldn't say that. You shouldn't
Next
say
year,
that.
everybody's like, Santa Cruz is the place.
Dude,
Stores
it's called
are
Black
open.
Friday tourism. People from other cities. The deals are so good it justifies plane tickets.
That's the thing. Nothing's flying off the shelves. There's no fights. We were disappointed the first year we were like, it's gonna be crazy.
Can't wait to brawl with
Can't
some
wait
moms.
to get your coffee, get in line. No, you just walk in and like,
More
oh,
and more. The few big stores that were in Santa Cruz, I feel like every time I go back, there's less of them.
yeah.
Somehow.
Oh yeah, they're all getting replaced slowly by a Starbucks. That's it. That's it. It's like, what's gonna go here? Like when I came back to LA, like I remember before I left, they had finally opened a Starbucks on Hollywood and Vine, right? So there's Starbucks on Hollywood and Vine now that used to be like some general store. And now that I've come back, there is a Starbucks on Sunset and Vine.
Yeah.
So to clarify, that is literally 2 blocks away. You can go look, you can walk out of the Starbucks and see the other Starbucks at the bottom of the road. And I'm wondering, like, did they just really want Sunset and Vine so bad and they were just like had to settle for Hollywood and Vine?
I mean, on the drive from my house to the freeway on Fair Oaks, there are like 5 Starbucks.
5 Starbucks.
To the point where I'll be like,
in 4 blocks.
it's almost impossible for me not to get Starbucks.
They're
on
their
the
own
way free
advertising.
because there are too many options. I'm like driving past the first Starbucks, like, yeah, no, I don't need Starbucks. And then the next one, I'm like, no, maybe I will do the one on the next street. I'm like, no, I don't. And then it's like 2 more.
Yeah.
So it's like,
It's like Starbucks.
I have to say no to 5 Starbucks
So I love it.
on the way to the freeway. It's
I
not
love the
possible.
idea. It's like, you know what? It's
It's
like
not.
this
It's
Starbucks
like-
is
That's
inconvenient.
why I have
Starbucks.
It's like this Starbucks is inconvenient for people who want to turn left. So let's get a couple of
That
right
is what
turns.
it is.
Yeah.
Because they are all slightly different. It's like this one has the right turn, that one's the left turn, that one's next to the park.
That one's in the bank. That one's in the grocery store. That one's got the drive-through.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
What I love is like when you go online and go to a Starbucks store finder, the literature they have on it is like they're just like, there's probably a Starbucks near you. Like, that's how you find it. That's how they say it. It's like, well, we won, so where do you want to go?
You know the Crowdfunding? You remember Best in Show? How long ago?
Yeah.
When did that come out? 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a joke.
That was a
in
joke.
Best in Show.
That they met at 2
there's so
Starbucks
many
across the way.
Starbucks,
Oh.
but it's still a joke because it's somehow it's like every year it's like there's still more. It's absurd. Starbucks guys, there's a lot of Starbucks.
Yeah.
It's funny what you're talking about though, like how stores can be their own advertising, and like as you drive past it, there's this itch.
Yeah.
And that's the power of advertising.
Yep.
Is it's not like the ad itself is so great, like I'm gonna go out and buy the thing. It's like no, it just has to seep into your brain so that you know it's a thing.
It's literally just awareness.
You
It's
just
just-
know it's a thing, and then later on you'll get it.
Well, mental real
your
estate.
brain is lazy, and you know there's 1,000%. We create patterns, and it's like so at a certain point, it's like why does Coca-Cola still why does Coca-Cola market?
that
Everybody wants Coca-Cola. It's simple because the moment it just wants it to get to the point where when you hear the word soda, you just think Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's like you're right. You don't think about buying a Coca-Cola.
Which is, by the way, which is what the entire American South is. Like,
Oh,
the
yeah.
word Coke is
yeah.
synonymous
Or
with
it's
soda.
like why do you keep advertising Colgate? Because they just want that to be the thing you think of when you see tooth. Because you're not gonna sit there and read like, hey, what's the best toothpaste? So like
Yeah.
whatever. It's like,
I just
like,
got
I
on
want
Amazon
toothpaste.
and looked at consumer
I guess I should
reviews.
get Colgate because I just keep hearing Colgate. So yeah, it's just constantly hitting your brain.
Yeah, it's like name one brand of razor other than Gillette.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Uh-huh.
and there's not any difference. Like they're all
But it
razors.
took you a second. Right?
Yeah.
It took you like, Schick. Yeah.
I took an advertising class in college because I wanted to minor in it, but I started getting really depressed.
Well, which class? Which class is this?
Advertising. I
the
took
intro, like the
intro
one
to advertising. Yeah.
I took the same class.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It was-
I
it was-
want to hear your experiences with it.
It was super fun, especially because like so many more girls take it than guys. And so it's like when you break up into groups,
all
start marketing your
communications.
product, it's like 1 guy and 5 girls, and they're all really good at like making materials and designing stuff.
It's like, well, this was easy.
Yeah, but
We
so
had a great. Oh yeah, go ahead.
so this guy came in and we all asked him like, hey, we asked him questions like what would be the hardest product to market? What would like if this brand came to you and said re-energize our product, what would be the worst job? And he said Oldsmobile, without missing a beat, because it's got the word old in the name,
Yeah.
and it's like what the. How can we market this?
Youngsmobile.
and
Rebrand.
and so as a result, like thinking about it, and then we also asked him like what was the worst marketing campaign that you've seen in the last 10 years, and without missing a beat, he said Six Flags.
With the old guy?
With the old guy,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
dancing old guy. And I
Yeah.
wrote a whole blog about this because this guy fascinated me. It's like a 10,000-word article. I don't know what.
Where's that at?
It's on my blog. So if you go to like brianandmaria.tv, you'll see this blog that I wrote about Mr. Six, and that's his name. His name is Mr. Six. He's a terrifying, wrinkly old prune of a man
Yeah.
who like enters your dreams and compels you to come to Six Flags.
Have you seen these, Freddie? Do you
He
know these?
drives
Sounds
this-
so bad.
Oh,
You
it's
know, they were
terrifying.
around for a long
They
time.
They were on for years.
He-
I remember
He's
that.
a young man made to look like an old, scary, terrifying man, but with hauntingly young eyes that suggest that he just
But he just
sucks
like dances.
penises dry.
Like, woo, Six
He's
Flags.
like dances limber.
He can just become gelatinous and not move like an old person.
I wrote a really huge article about it, and just all the research about Mr. Six, and just like everything that happened, and it's just really fascinating that they kept it up that long. Six Flags like had they stopped Mr. Six for a while, and then
back.
and then they brought him back because what happened was they hired a new guy to manage Six Flags advertising, who is, by the way, Dan Schneider, the owner of the Washington Redskins.
Wait,
Really?
Remember the guy who was embroiled in that whole
Yeah.
Redskins thing? He's like, we're keeping the name. Well, he took over Six Flags' marketing.
Bring the old man back.
And made
Indians are called Redskins. I want old men on my
and made
theme
a
park.
super racist ad, which was Freddie, I'm sorry, but it was an Asian guy who popped up and said, "More flags, more fun." Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
that was Dan Schneider's
So
contribution
this is just
to
a
Six
bad
Flags.
person. So
marketing.
he's just an asshole.
He's
Just
a
horrible
racist
person.
asshole.
Trillions of dollars just pull an existing thing out of a drawer, make it more racist, and then
Yeah.
put it on television.
And then they were like, "All right, you're out of here." And they put Mr. Six back, and he could like, terrorize children
What
again.
else do we have? Well, we got that old guy. Bring him back.
I can say with pretty much razor sharp clarity that Six Flags is a really dumb company.
I mean,
Yeah.
they don't know what they're doing.
But for example, we remember doing Roller Coaster Day, and we were going over and be like, "Hey, we were talking to Six Flags, and we're like, hey, so we're bringing like 250 people to this park on this day that you have no business. Can we figure out some kind of discount code for people? Like, can people go up to the counter and say a code or a coupon or something and
Say
get a
Freddie to
discount?
get 10% off.
Or just like something?" And they're like, "No, you have to fill out this form for groups, pre-buy them, and fax it to us." I was like, "Are you kidding?"
my
So it's not the same price. You have to go through more hoops to bring.
They're
more
like,
people.
I'm like, you understand that nobody shows up on this day. This is 250 people who are showing. It's like a discount.
But especially after the second video, it's like you realize that you're gonna get advertisement.
And it was
for
just
10
so,
minutes.
I couldn't believe it. And then they're like, well, I guess the best thing we do is like, okay, everyone bring a Coke can and get the 2-for-1 deal on that. That's the best.
You can use
like
the
that,
promotion that already exists.
Like that's the best you guys can do for us. Like you guys are idiots.
All I'm gonna say is this park they have Warner Brothers like Looney Tunes cartoons. They have Batman and Superman, but rather than use those to market the park, they picked an old man who can dance to the biggest gay club anthem of the 90s. That was it. That was what they went with. And they're like, people like Mr. Six. They respond really well. They looked at their tracking.
Why does nobody come to our theme park?
Did you see the Sony Pictures leak?
Oh, yes.
yeah.
I saw that.
I mean, again, marketing is such a hard thing for me. Like, there are people in it who are incredible, but so much of marketers are maybe my least favorite people on the planet.
Shit peddlers.
Yeah, they're the worst. I mean, you've also worked in that world, so you must have seen people like, oh my god, these are so terrible. And I was just like, I've
This
seen
is
these.
par.
This was like
Par
so.
for
It
the
was so
course.
nostalgic. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I remember these.
It takes me back. It really does.
Smurfs theme blue. Like I remember Club Penguin, and they had theirs was actually, to be honest, theirs was really slick, but it's still the same thing where it's just like marketers just. So much of marketing is convincing everybody else that your job is worth the money that they're paying you. So it's just these massive PowerPoints of just nonsense. So just like
absolute
different color blues. This means this color blue is family friendly. This color blue is kinky. Don't use. Like I remember like that. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Kinky blue.
Kinky. This one's too kinky. And we're talking about like
And it's just like
No,
a little bit slightly
to the
off.
point where pretty much some people's monitors, if they're calibrated, 90% of people's monitors that blue will look kinky because it's a slightly different calibration. You know, it's like,
But we need to make Smurfette still look a little hot. We need to hot up Smurfette a little bit, and we'll have Katy Perry, who has no voice acting talent to speak of, voice her, so she'll show up to the premiere and do the advertise. I hate all that crap.
Yep.
Just no good voice actors are just completely getting swept under the rug because they can't go on Ellen and promote the movie like Katy Perry can.
I love how what I did like though is how clearly they believed in After Earth.
Oh yeah.
Because if you saw that slide, they had a picture of like video, like more stuff than there is for Star Wars coming out.
Yeah.
For After Earth, talking about like this universe.
This is gonna be their avatar.
Will Smith and his son, essentially.
Yeah.
I don't know how they thought that was gonna last, but
Yeah, that was pretty bad. But what I love is in the Sony release, like everyone, and this is what almost made me start to turn on the marketers who were complaining about Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah.
Is they were like, we need to ditch these Adam Sandler movies and do original properties like The Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Like that was their idea. Like,
Yeah.
We need to do more Hunger Games. where's our Hunger Games? And it was like, so you mean adapt an explosively successful teen lit series that probably some other studio just came in and threw more money on the table and picked it up faster than you? Like that's your idea of originality.
Yeah, like we can't do Adam Sandler. We need they said we need Hunger Games and Twilight.
We need original ideas like Hunger Games. That was it. That was like what it all said. Like did they not know that it was based on a book that was totally just battle royale?
They're very good at looking at what's already been successful and be like, we want that, and then just irrelevant of what they're asking.
Yeah,
has anything to do with what they're actually working on. It's just like
we see that
After Earth is the next.
everywhere.
It was just like After Earth. We need the next Avatar. This thing is sci-fi, and I guess like Avatar. This is the next Avatar. It's like, are you? Like, do you have any like?
Are you
do
mental?
you fail the reading like test in the SAT? Like, this is nothing to do with Avatar. They're not like at all.
I will say this: it's like film school, not super necessary. But one thing it really taught me when I went to film school was I saw the people who were super creative, and they were just bad at talking to people. And then I saw the film school people who were like movers and shakers. Facebook came out right then, and they already had like 1,000 friends. How did they even do that?
The producing
and they're
team.
like, that's what's gonna happen. Like these are the people who went to film school, not that talented, didn't really work out for them, but they're so good
The
at
hustlers.
schmoozing their way up.
I remember
and
we went to like a short film festival.
Yeah.
And there was like, most of them were kind of like whatever, they're student films, like, but there was like one or two that was like, oh, this guy's like really creative. This guy could like, this is like a guy I would hire. This is a good writer. This is a good director. And then there's one short film made by one of the Stark producers, the producing school. Was it Stark, right?
Yeah.
Producing school. It was straight up 100% a ripoff of the Stephen Moffat episode of Coupling where he lies about his leg.
right.
Yeah.
It looked exactly like a Judd Apatow movie. It was slick as hell. It was the most shallow, useless. It wasn't funny. It was terrible. And I just sat there and I was like, this guy is going to hire. This is going to be the guy I'm getting money from.
Yep.
Yeah, these are the
Exactly.
guys that will hire other
10
people.
years from now.
That's the guy.
And I'm pretty sure it is.
Yep. Yeah. I think we all have to go see him now.
Yeah.
RocketJump, right?
He's
What was
paying
his
for this podcast.
Yeah.
No longer, though.
He just like rises out of the couch.
Been cut off.
Is everyone having a good time?
And I remember when I saw him, I saw like the team afterwards. And the team, but you're right. They looked like nice guys, but they were the schmooze. Like they were so friendly. They probably had like 5 business deals the moment they came out of that.
They already knew how to play the game.
Yeah.
You
They
know?
just know how to talk and be and like.
And being able to talk to people,
It's a good skill,
it
by the way.
cannot be, well, it's a disproportionately good skill, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It cannot be under one person can't do everything. But if you're the person who knows everyone who can do everything and can figure out how to get everyone to work together, you do way more. You have a much more of an impact than
Right.
anybody who's just talented.
They
on
basically then
something.
give you all the money and like, well, now you distribute the money to everyone else.
Yeah.
That's more
Just
or
become
less.
a project manager
Yeah.
rather than a filmmaker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a skill that I wish I had, but but at the same time, I'm happy with my life.
At the same time, I sleep at night.
Yeah.
Anyway.
With this.
That's the end.
It should just end like. How do you,
Thanks, everybody. Well, it actually feels like
all of us have this. All of us are just kind of this existential. Like that was just like
Yeah,
every single
we
one
all
of us was
started
like
thinking about our trajectory.
yeah.
Well,
Are we happy?
Yeah, while we contemplate our very existence, we'll take a very quick break and
Okay.
be right back after a little message.
after we sell some stuff.
When we come back, we should all just look like 5 years older. It's like the Big Chill. We're all just like super like over it.
All right, hang tight. Be right back. Hey everybody, Freddie here. If you haven't already, head on over to podsurvey.com/Facerocker. Fill out the little survey that we have there. We got a bunch of really cool stuff that we're going to be giving away for people who fill out the survey, and only people who fill out the survey. We have a $100 Amazon gift card. We're giving away 3 merch packs, Steam games, the whole 9 yards. So please head on over there, podsurvey.com/Facerocker. It helps us out quite a bit, keeps the lights running over here. And all right, enough of this. Let's get back to the podcast. So you're talking about this advertising class that we took at USC. I took the same class, and I think my favorite part of that class was the class happened during the Starbucks rebranding. Starbucks was trying to like compete with Dunkin' Donuts and try and like rebrand themselves. So that was like the project that we looked at throughout the whole year. But I remember being like, well, this class is basically useless, and thinking that very distinctively because at one of the days was going to be like internet and internet advertising and where internet advertising is going.
I love that was just one day.
It was just like one day. But yeah, I was like, well, this is interesting because this I think is, at the time I was like, this is where I think a lot of the future of this is going to be. I'm really curious to see what this is going to be about. Oh, and they got a guy coming in to speak from an ad agency, and this guy came in from a top ad agency in LA and sat and talked to a class for 40 minutes about Google AdWords. And like, it was a lecture that was just like, so keywords are ways that you can link campaigns to people. So they'll search for something, and if the word is the same, it'll show up here. And then the next slide will just be like Google Ad. I'm like, this is it. And like half the class was just like hand in face. Like, I don't know if the professor's gonna be like, yeah, see how online advertising not cool, but like, it was so boring. It was like one of the most boring lectures I've ever seen because it was just like reading off of like what is Google AdWords as like, and this is what we do for our campaigns.
They shill for Google.
Well,
it literally was like if he was a Google employee, I would not have been surprised. Like but he was it's like you talk about like somebody's like he's an ad guy. He's supposed to be someone who can at least talk
like
to
sell something and talk about something. Yeah, no.
And that was it. And then at no point do we ever go back to like talking about that. And it was just like, okay, that's internet.
Yep.
And it's just like, right off. It's like, I feel like there's more to it than that, guys.
Yeah.
A little bit.
This internet thing's going to take off, guys.
I don't know. I feel like there's something here.
Yeah.
No, I liked the ad class for what it taught me. The project we did that year was recycling.
Yeah, you were the semester before me then.
Yeah, I was the semester before you, and we did recycling projects. And it was like try and market recycling like a nonprofit and make it like seem cool and hip and re-energize people to get them interested in recycling. And that was actually really hard. Yeah. Like how to go about it. And our project took the tack of being like, recycling, you do it already, just do it more. And we didn't get a good grade.
Well, and speaking of like hard things to sell, like the thing that always throws me off is when you're listening to public radio and they do the pledge drives, right? And there's always sort of that time of year like, hey, everybody pledge and so. And like, it never feels like it's effective. It never, I'm sure it works for them. But I feel like, to me, it's like, I feel like there's a smarter way to go about this because what they're doing is they're basically just like begging for money, essentially, is what it is, right? If you kind of like, boil it down.
People love that.
And people love that. I always thought like they could make so much more money if they're like, so we're going to shut down if you guys don't do this, and we're going to replace this with a conservative right-wing talk show, and we are the last bastion of
radio.
You really think that would work?
People are lazy.
Well,
though.
no, here my point is this.
People are so lazy.
But my point is this. I think that as a motivator for action, begging for money versus just fear of like, oh my gosh, like this is gonna get taken. Like fear, I think, is a much stronger.
You're right,
motivator.
but I feel like most products couldn't get to fear. It would only get to indignation. Be like, what? You're an asshole. Like you're gonna replace yourself with a right? No, like maybe it was like. Fear would be like, if you don't give me this money, I'm going to murder your family.
No. But it has to be like,
I think that would be effective.
No, but it has to be like left-leaning, like liberal fear. Where
If you're left-leaning, if you're left-leaning podcast that you believe in,
no, not podcasts, or public radio.
Fine, public radio, and then we're like, hey, if you don't support this, we're going to replace it.
No. They don't say like that, you idiot. You say things like this. You say like, so Turner Broadcasting is coming. They're going to buy out the station, and we need to be able to put up a counter offer.
So lie to people.
Freddie, hang on. You've done how many Kickstarters now? Point out one Kickstarter where someone's like, we're not gonna. Oh no!
Well, but here's the other side.
I love that Freddie's grand ideas for improving advertising are lying to people and installing fear.
Well, by the way, which is what advertising basically is.
But Kickstarter's all positivity. It's like, thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
Kickstarter's
going up. Kickstarter's all positive.
But no. What it is it's products that people want. That's what Kickstarter is. What are the most successful Kickstarters? They're ones where they sell things.
No, but we need to like support video game high school. Otherwise, we're going to replace it with.
But at the end of the day, when you.
No, what about that chicken salad?
That's the other side of it. No, but that's the other side of it.
Yeah.
That's the other side of it, which is
you don't have to incite
right.
fear.
But here's the other side of it. But here's the other side of it, which is the NPR guys are like, well, and if you donate, you could get a book signed by Terry Gross. It's like the products they're selling for supporting them are also crap.
Well, yeah.
I feel
Tote bags.
Is that a bad book?
I feel
No. It's shit like tote bags.
Actually, loves tote bags.
Well, then she probably supports her local radio
Serial
station.
said, "Hey, support us for a tote bag." I'd be like, "Yeah, I should buy like a cereal tote bag."
I'd get a
That's the
cereal.
number
tote.
one
That's already
Christmas
a good
gift is the
thing.
cereal tote bag.
Filled with evidence from the case.
But Freddie, I'd like to think that if you tried in season 1 of VJHS Kickstarter to like say if we don't get the money, Freddie's gonna have to do Let's Plays, you would have gotten $3 million
We're gonna
to make
replace
Let's Plays.
all of
we
our
like
content.
No, back
if
up,
we
back
do
up.
Video Game High School, or this channel's gonna be Rush Limbaugh's personal.
That's not what I
vlog.
said, Matt. That's not what I said at all. I'm just saying that the
Isn't that
tack they
exactly
use.
what you
No, it's not. I'm just saying that the tack that they use.
We
You're
just go back
taking
with
his
that's what I
radio.
said.
You're taking his words and then presenting them.
The moment I say, "Isn't that what you said, Benji?" Go ahead and instantly cut to the
play
moment
back.
where he said, "I'll replace with a right wing leaning."
I feel like
For
that's,
public radio, Matt. You're being purposely obtuse.
so now we're doing apples and oranges. Is that what that is? It's an apple
Oh,
and
there's a
oranges
good,
thing.
there's a good stand-up guy where he goes up and his first joke is like, apples, a fruit that has often a skin that you can eat and is peeled and served sliced. Oranges, you can't eat the skin and is a citrus fruit. There. I just compared apples and oranges.
Yeah.
Can we move on?
Yeah.
Where's everybody going? Why is nobody
exactly.
still listening to my set?
Wait, that joke bombed.
Louis
I hate myself.
Louis C.K. had a great bit about the double-edged sword, just that phrase itself, and just how dumb that is. He's like, well, it's a double-edged sword. And then he just started going into the mechanics of a double-edged sword and how that would never exist. Like, yeah, where would you grab it? It's the dumbest thing that ever. It was great. He had a whole thing. I can't do it, obviously, but it was really funny.
Next 15 minutes will just be that clip.
I love my life.
I love my life. I'm happy with our decision.
How long are you here in the States?
I'm here for pretty much until the new year,
Okay.
and then I am back in foggy London town, which is actually not foggy. I keep calling it foggy because of Anchorman, but it's not foggy at all. It's just rainy sometimes and sunny other times.
You can say whatever you want about
Yeah,
London.
you really-
as well.
Yeah, we don't care.
I love
Nobody's
it.
actually
Fiery
ever-
London town.
Yeah, we have
Always on fire.
no
Everybody's like,
attachments
oh,
to London
interesting.
whatsoever.
London is they're building this new thing. It's going. I don't know if it's going along the Thames, but it's kind of close to it. Anyway, you can now trampoline to work. Or that's going to happen in 2015. They're building into the ground like
The
trampoline.
world's longest.
It's the world's longest, and you can just like walk on this bouncy trampoline all the way to work. It's really cool.
You know that
What's at the
trampoline is
end
the
of it?
most
Where do you work?
dangerous thing you could possibly have.
Well, I'm sure trampoline technology has improved.
I don't think it has.
Grumping technology has not really improved. Well, would you put a trampoline? People are going to jump up and fall on each other and
to
jump
me-
while someone's next to them, and then they go too high.
That's not even the worst part of it.
Why?
To me, the danger is always getting your leg caught in the springy.
springs,
side.
oh God,
that,
yeah.
that won't be a problem with this. That's.
But
not-
where's the edge? At some point, there's trampoline.
People are
and then
gonna
at
bounce
certain
off
point-
and hit the
soft
pavement.
At a certain
concrete.
point, there's no
Yeah,
more
it's
trampoline.
just soft concrete, Matt.
I don't think it's going to be concrete. I think it's
Are they
going to
gonna
be
do
like
enclose
you
it?
know, like how kids' playgrounds have that little like padded spongy thing. I think that will be the outer ring.
Just like
Okay, I think I need to understand this more. So where is this trampoline occurring?
It's sort of in the heart of London.
I'm more interested in the
real
why.
quick, and we are
is it-
serious.
Is
We
it
are serious.
Very
replacing
serious. This is
a
a really a thing.
sidewalk?
It's not replacing the sidewalk.
It's
It's
in
more
addition
like,
to.
It's like imagine like a wide like expanse of concrete where you can just kind of walk.
So
anywhere.
like a park, like
Yeah,
an
like-
open
almost
area,
like a park,
or
but
like
open
an
area.
intersection.
But
like-
it goes for a really long way, and they can just have this. It's like you can either just choose to walk on a normal path or walk on the bouncy trampoline path all the way to work. That
How
sounds like
bouncy
a
is
blast.
it?
How bouncy will
is
it be?
it?
I don't think they're. I think they're going to really control the bounce.
Yeah.
You can't get like 10 feet of air.
Yeah, I
up
mean that's
this
what I
thing.
was.
Like, are people being front flipping, like
Yeah,
doing
no,
like
I mean-
tumbling.
No double
routines?
bounces, people. No double bounces
Yeah,
on your way to
yeah.
way to the office.
Don't. What is it called when you would like your friend would be jumping really high and then you just kind of like get next to him and
Yeah,
like
double-
stop
yeah.
him?
double bounce, double
yeah,
bounce.
Double bounce.
can't do that.
Well, isn't double bounce when you get somebody higher?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
this is the opposite of that.
Well,
Where
yeah,
you like
you
stop
jump right
them.
before,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they just crumble.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah, I forget what that was called.
Break
Man,
both legs on the way
trampoline.
down.
They're putting in aren't they trying to put in a giant park bridge over the Thames as well?
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, there's already several bridges going over the Thames,
Yeah.
but yeah, they're working on that. Those are like
Over the
those pie in the
Thames, you mean
sky.
here?
Huh?
We're talking here or London now.
London.
London.
So
But
should we just all move to London? Because clearly it's just slowly becoming.
It sounds like a
it's
utopia.
awesome. Yeah. No, it's that Central
Or
London
hell.
is like the most fun, busiest,
You can
awesomest.
take that like ski lift thing over the river for some
Yeah.
parts or whatever. It's like a public transit thing.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's why nobody complains. The bus breaks down. They're trampolining to fucking work.
Yeah,
Like they're not stuck on the 405.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, everybody lives in like outer London, and they all commute into Central
Trampoline
London.
into work now.
Yeah, but it's always an hour commute, and that's the thing that I learned
If you
is
had,
that
to,
it's
if you
like
had a trampoline, commute for like an hour and a half. You'd never get to work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could take the 405, or that's about an hour, but the trampoline's about an hour and a half. But you're bouncing the whole time. so-
trampoline's
This is how
backed
you
up.
get
There's an
it.
accident.
They're double bouncing all over. There was a double bounce accident over the Sepulveda Pass.
Yeah,
So all the commutes are an hour.
yeah. Yeah, basically. I mean, the general rule of thumb is you're 45 minutes away from everything, and it doesn't matter where you live. It's going to take you 45 minutes to either wait for the train, get off to where you need to, take the connecting tube to whatever. So it's eventually you just learn, and this is another reason why everyone's just so chill over there. Is like you just learn to take it easy. Like you're not going to get there any quicker. The train's going to come when it comes.
Yeah.
It's like when you're in a car. It's like you're tantalized with the prospect of being able to get there faster. If you only
you have Waze or you have a Google Maps.
Or
I could take this off. I could take the surface.
Yeah,
it's like sometimes we do get places faster. Sometimes like hey, if you go during this time, it's usually not bad, but then that'll be the time it's horrible, and so it makes you angry.
Yeah, right.
Because you have the potential to not.
You thought you had the control, but
I
it's
wonder
dangled.
if like self-driving cars will change people's just overall mental like attitudes to like, you know what I mean? Because then it's just no longer like, well, I gotta get in the car and drive there. It's like, well, it's gonna take me there, and now I'm kind of.
I think it will, because that's what public transit is. It doesn't get there faster. You just get to do other stuff instead of focus on having to,
I wanted to do a sketch where I just literally took that PR video of everyone driving the driverless car, and it's like they got all the old people and the young people and all sitting in the car. And I just wanted to dub it over, so like now I can jerk off as much as I want, because I feel like that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna come out with a driverless car that has blacked out windows, and then businessmen will just be like, "Oh God, I gotta rub one out before work." They're like Matthew McConaughey and
It's just a
Wolf of
different.
Wall Street.
It's like a different term. It's like redefining. It's like, yeah, I just road raged on the way here like 4 times.
Yeah, exactly. Just like everything just takes on new meaning.
all the things you want to do. In
I
public
like that
transit
you would
but can't.
consider that road rage.
Well, I did it very angrily. Some people probably have a great time.
Self-rage.
Yeah, but
Just raged out in the back of the car.
yeah.
That's why I always go to the bathroom when you're angry, Freddie.
I
I'm so angry right now.
this Google driverless car lets me flick my bean all the way to my poker game.
I feel like that would make California a better place. Like I feel like if everybody
Yeah.
40 minutes of driving changed from anger
To
and just jerking it for
self-masturbation.
40 minutes all the way
Jack
to
off
work.
in your car here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys
Welcome
like
to California.
trampolines, Brian.
Well,
but we don't
yeah,
jerk off
That's
in
a
a
winning
car.
marketing
Well, so when
campaign.
Every single ad is like you got the guy golfing at the links and he's like, jerk off in your car. Arnold Schwarzenegger with the rear shot about jerk off in your car. California, Clint Eastwood is like, I like to jerk off. It's like every single person in California.
So when they introduced the cup holder to like BMW, the German engineers were like, I don't understand why they need this.
Yeah.
Just listen to classical music and drive very quickly.
Being a
and then it's like, can you imagine? It's like American cars have this just like Kleenex receptacles. Like I do not understand this. It's like
Yeah,
just,
exactly. We just start bringing like, well, okay, we took your driverless car and jazzed it up.
Honey, Tommy's just turned 16. I don't know if he's ready for his own car. Well, free up the bathroom.
Honey, I don't know how to tell this, but I think he's already been ready for his driverless car for a while.
yeah. Listen,
clean
I
his
do
underwear,
the
you should
laundry.
know.
Take my word for it. It's just like 2-hour-long road trips with his friends.
Wow.
Driverless cars.
Yes, driverless cars, guys.
Well, I like
The
the
date
idea-
would be done before you got to the restaurant.
Yeah.
We get
It's like, it's just turning around.
Yeah.
Literally just turn around.
Stop by
Listen,
7-Eleven
I'm
on
sure
the
you're
way
a nice
back.
lady, but I sort of ruined this night for us already. This relationship can't go anywhere. I'm kind of already seeing my car.
That's
Like
incredible.
that to me, because to me, what's really interesting is like it's the idea of like every future version of the car has always been like some sort of slick, sleek, like sort of driver experience. But it's like no, I feel like the future version of the car looks a lot like just like a couch with a TV in front of it.
Yeah.
Right. Like in the end, it's just like gonna be like a
Some sort of
seating area.
recreational pleasure machine.
I like how now's a play. Not even jerking off. You just get strapped in.
Hey, wait a second. Why use my hand when Google can blow me for
On
me?
your way to work. Why do I have to jerk myself off in my car? God, I hate this technology.
This thing's a machine, right? There's power here. There's
The
motors.
Google driverless blowjob lips. It's like,
Why do we even have work at that point? It's just all of us in just Nirvana machines floating around.
everyone just has Google Glass. They're just
Google
constantly
Glass
sending
or
to, like,
Oculus
the air,
Rift
just images
visors.
of his white heads just glowing.
Oh my god.
It's all modeled after his lips too.
Oh,
Google's just saying ads into your dick while playing.
It senses you right when you're about to. It's like, wait,
Yeah.
buy this now. Skip.
Things your dick might be interested in. I'm not interested in PewDiePie. I'm not interested in watching PewDiePie. Well, your dick is. Your dick really likes PewDiePie's fun, casual, tossed-off delivery.
Please select the advertisement your dick may be most interested in.
Yeah, exactly.
Was this relevant to your dick?
Has your dick spooged on one of these ads in the following? Arby's, yes, it did spooge on Arby's. Click on it.
Oh man.
It sounds like hell. I'm scared of the future now.
Marketing, yeah.
What are the hot kids? What kids?
Just imagine the Google driverless car is this white egg
Smurfs.
with no windows. You just get in, it closes, and there's like this mannequin head that's also white, and it goes, and it's like lowers itself. It's like, time to go to work.
Also, I love the idea. Like, could you?
Just the PowerPoint presentations are like, now the kids are getting blowjobs in their cars. Are Smurfs relevant?
This is the Venga bus, and it's heading towards Six Flags. Everyone's getting blown by wrinkly Mr. Six mannequin. But then one of them like turns to camera and winks like the end of Freddy versus Jason. It's just like,
I just love the idea also of like, because if it's a Google driverless car, I feel like at some point it's like, at some point they're gonna introduce this thing where it's like you could watch ads all the way to work and we'll pay for your gas.
Yeah.
Like,
right, yeah.
It's gonna-
Oh, I'd watch
Yeah.
so many ads.
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
kidding?
It's like, yeah, it's the ultimate distraction-free experience because everyone's just sitting there. There's nothing else to do but watch our ads, and we'll pay for it. We'll cover your gas.
We'll cover your blowjob if you don't watch this ad.
I wonder if
all
like
the
at
ads are
some
like
point-
Saudi oil princes saying, please pay for gas. Please stop doing this. Please don't get blown by that mannequin head. I just can't get over it. I just think that's the new car. That's the new car.
yep.
Oh gosh.
Well, that's a good note
What a world.
to end on.
What a world. What a world we
Tired
don't.
rocket
What
jump
world
for
we
your
live
next
in?
marketing
This
campaign.
podcast brought to you by Goaty Honda.
Honda. Talk to Big Mike. Tell Matt saying you. Go Gaudi Honda in Alhambra. Hook you up.
We bring our prices down, way down. All the way down.
The only dealership where the prices go down on you.
Oh, that's so bad.
Boom. That's a
Goaty Honda.
podcast.
Drive off the lot with a brand new Honda and your dick polished to a fine buffy shine. All right.
Full service gasoline
Free
station.
flashlight with every purchase.
Oh boy. If we had
Ad
Yeah, we
sponsors
lost
are
all our
gone.
sponsors.
Yeah, don't forget to go to the survey.
Kids get a free bag of popcorn and dad gets his snake drained by
If you want to hear more podcasts like these kids, go fill out the Facerocker survey.
Your
Go to our
snake
Patreon and
drained is like
keep
the
sending us money every week.
grossest
We'll
version.
just stop at your house and blow you. Oh, it's a good life.
Hire Rocket Jump for your next ad campaign.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to this Facerocker podcast.
Thank you very much.
You'll
Thank you,
never
Brian
see
and
us
Dan.
again.
It was a treat having you guys.
Yeah, it was good. It was
Thanks,
good
dudes.
while I was
Good.
here. All right.
See you next week.